Shalom. I'd like to start this lesson by saying Kal Halal Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson I was talking about in another video, but we're just going to talk about the building of the temple, physically the building of the temple when we are in the kingdom, and who's going to build it. I was talking about it before in another lesson, but those scriptures I was missing, so I'm just going to go back into it again. Okay, so we're going to start at Isaiah 60 and 9, because there's a lot of stuff in this scripture, or this chapter. Isaiah 60 and 9, surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the power of Yaslakia, unto the name of the Lord thy power, Yahweh, and to the Holy One of Israel, Yahushai, because he hath glorified thee. So whose sons are going to be brought, right? And on ships, whose sons are going to be brought, right? Silver and gold. So obviously these sons are rich if they have silver and gold. So actually, here, there is a scripture. Okay, we're good. And so verse 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. So strangers, there's two different types of strangers in the scriptures. It's talking about strangers as Israelite foreigners or actual strangers like the other nations. Right now it's talking about the other nations, because we're not going to have Israelite foreigners who are Israelites building up the walls of Israel. That doesn't make any sense. Even though they are, at this point, they're not strangers anyways. At this point, they've come back into the fold. So all these strangers that are out there are the other nations, right? And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. So right there, what I'm going to do is Zechariah 6 and 15. Right there. Zechariah 6 to 15. And they that are far off shall come and build in the temple. So far off, far from the temple, far away from the temple, right? They're far off. They're away. Shall come and build in the temple of the Lord, and ye shall know that the Lord Yahweh of hosts has sent me unto you. And this shall come to pass, if ye will diligently obey the voice of the Lord your power. Right. So let's go back to Isaiah. 16. Kind of all over the place with this. Isaiah 60 and 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Right? So he did have mercy on those kings and sons, because, well, they're still alive. Right? So you can say he did have mercy on them, because he didn't destroy them in the destruction, what's coming, this nuclear fire. But they're going to be our slaves. Right? So I'm just going to jump to 49. And you go to 23. Okay, so this is the precept for that. Let's say the Lord set up my standard. Okay, we read from 22. Oh. Isaiah 49:22. Thus saith the Lord power. Behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. Right? And kings shall be thy nursing fathers. So kings, right? So it says they're gonna bring their daughters and their sons. Okay? Because this great temple that we're building, this great kingdom. Obviously, we're gonna be ruling, but we're gonna have other people, nations living in our kingdom, of course. Right? But they're bringing them as slaves, right? They're going to be serving unto us. Now, right here it says, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers. So someone that's nurse, if you think of a nurse in a hospital, what do? They attend to the patient, right? They attend to them. They're serving them. That's what they're doing. They're their servants, right? Even though that person is sick or whatever, but they're their servants. They're tending to them. They're nursing them back to health, right? Right, but it says kings. So kings, what are kings? Kings are men who ruled with power, who usually had gold and silver, money, currency, and their queens thy nursing mothers. Same thing, right? They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth. So they're gonna bow down to us, kings and queens of the old kingdom, the old earth, the old Jerusalem, are gonna bow down to us. Right, with their face toward the earth. So this is not these kings that they're referring to, because the Edomites are going to be enslaved. They're going to be slaves. They're going to hard slavery. So they're already going to be bowing down to us. This is more talk. So you can add the Edomites in there if you want to, because they will be bowing down. But the kings and queens they're referring to are the other nations, right? Because Edomites are going to be bowing down to us regardless. But it's referring to the other nations, like the kings of all these other nations on the planet, with their gold and silver and their oil and all their resources. They're going to be bringing their children to us and be bowing down to us because we are the new rulers, right? They should bow down to thee with their face toward the earth and lick up the dust of thy feet. Yeah, they're going to be licking the dust off of thy feet. Literally, they're going to be doing that. Just like you see in those movies where like, oh, yes, my Lord, they're on the ground kissing your feet and kissing their feet and everything. It's gonna be like that, right? And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Yeah, so like Most High is telling you this is what's gonna happen. So why, like, first of all, why would you be ashamed waiting for the Most High? Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Why would you be ashamed? You know what you're gonna get, right? He's just telling you to do this work, right? Be faithful to the end. So we're going to go back to Isaiah 60. And we're going to start back at, we were reading from, so kind of just go back. It was precept to what I was just reading. And the sons of the stranger shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates, verse 11, shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day or night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Right? So the forces of the Gentiles. So let's go to the word forces. Actually, Slakia, we were supposed to go into minister. Let's go into minister first. So I'm going to go into, I already have it open. Oh. Okay, so minister, 13th century, man consecrated to service in the Christian church, an ecclesiastic, also an agent acting for a superior. So the agent acting for a superior. So you have a superior, right? You're acting for a superior. One who acts upon the authority of another, already highlighted, servant, Valet, member of a household staff, administrator, musician, minstrel, from Latin, minister, genitive, ministry, inferior, servant, priest, assistant, right? So there's not more of that. So I wanted to go into servant because I highlighted that. 12th century, personal or domestic attendant. Personal or domestic attendant. That sounds like a slave to me. Servant, serving, waiting, to attend, wait upon. So you're attending and you're waiting upon. Just like at, you go to restaurants and you have servants, or are they called servants? No, they're not called servants. They're called waiters, right? So right now, it says waiters, same thing as a servant. To attend, wait upon. Meaning, professed lover. Usual colonies in U.S., the usual designation for slave. Translation, the word often was used to render Latin servus, Greek doulos, slave. Public servant is attested from, okay. And go here. Servant, a person working in the service of another, especially in the household, in a subordinate position, right? In a subordinate position. There you go with that word. Having an inferior rank, placed in a lower order, made subject, or order, set in order, role, rank, series. That's for that. That's for order and sub. Subordinate, to bring into subordinate position to something else, to make of less value, to make auxiliary or dependent. One inferior in power, rank, office. All right, so that just tells you. So when it says here, yeah, and their king shall minister unto thee, they're going to be our servants. They're going to serve unto us. They're going to be our slaves. Now, they're going to be in better status than the Edomites, which is why I said minister. Right? I didn't say they're going to be our captives. Right? They're going to serve us, but they're not going to be treated, we're not going to treat them that bad. Like the Edomites are going to get it the worst. Right? That's why it says, and their kings, right? Shall build up thy walls. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. Right? So they're still going to be our slaves, but they're not going to get it as bad as the Edomites. Right? And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. So the sons of strangers are going to be those Edomites. They're going to be building our walls. They're going to get it bad. Right? The kings of the other nations and stuff, they're still going to get it, but they're not going to get it as bad as the Edomites. The Edomites are going to get the worst. Okay, so back to verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day or night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and their canes may be brought. Right, so they're going to bring their canes. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So anyone that doesn't want to serve us is going to be destroyed. We're not going to be playing around. And jump to 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. So we just read about that in 49, Isaiah 49. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Yeah, they're going to be talking, and they're going to be bowing down to us. Rust thou has been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee. I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Right? Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles and shall suck the breast of kings. So it doesn't mean literally sucking the breast, right? When you want to go to the word milk, people are like, oh my gosh, you're saying you suck the milk. What the hell are they talking about? No, right? Kalav, I believe that's pronouncing it right. It says milk, sour milk, cheese, milk, B, abundance of the land, right? Metaphor. So what's the abundance of the land? That's the resources. That's everything, really, that's within the land. Where it could be your cattle, the actual land, giving it onto them, right? Giving it onto them, give them everything. Slakia, I'll be right back. All right, Salakia. So abundance of the land. I accuse the land, the resources, the milk, even the milk from the cows, everything, animals, gold, silver, everything, all the minerals, everything. Everything. Thou shalt also suck the milk, the Gentiles, and shall suck the breast of kings. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right, so, this is why we really want to go into. So we're going to go, to Revelation real quick. 3. So people will be like, well, they're not really going to bow down to us. Like, we're not really going to bow down to you so-called Negroes, Latin tribes, you Native Americans, right? Like, it says all over the scriptures that they're going to be bowing down to us, right? And I'll just show you right here, Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews. So who says they are Jews? First of all, who says they live in synagogues? What do they call them places synagogues? It's these Jewish people, right? They're the ones that live in the so-called synagogues, right? Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. So he's see how is Shai talking? Because it's in red. I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. So he's referring to these Jewish people, saying that they're the synagogue of Satan. So the house of Satan, which say they are Jews. So these Jewish people say they are Jews. They're not really Jews, which is why they call themselves Jewish, right? That goes in a whole different conversation. And are not, so they're not Jews, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet. So they are the Edomites, right? Edomites, there's a lot of sects, you want to call them sects and Edomites. You got the ones, the German ones, you got the Russian ones, you got the American ones, you got the Jewish ones, right? They're all Edomites though, so all of them are going to be coming, right? And are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So they're going to know who the real Jews are. They will know, right? So I just wanted to show that. Yahweh Shai said that. So, what was it? Isaiah. Pretty much almost done. Isaiah 60. Okay. This is what I was talking about in my other video. So, now we're going to talk about how right? Because the temple's gonna be built. The temple's gonna be beautiful. Actually, you know what? Let's jump to that now. Revelation 21. 21. Okay. Okay, so I want to read from... Yeah, we can read from 11. Actually, you know what? We read from 10. Revelation 21:10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and shewed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of the heaven from Yahweh, having the glory of Yahweh, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high. So that wall is referring to is a wall that the Edomites, these other, their kids, including, the Rothschilds and all of them, those top banking families are going to be building for us. And had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof, 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto the clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second, sapphire, the third, chalcedony, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, the fourth, an emerald, the fifth, sardonyx, the sixth, sardius, the seventh, chrysolite, the eighth, beryl, the ninth, a topaz, the 10th, chrysophorus, Slakia, the 11th, jacinth, the 12th, an amethyst, and the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of 1 pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. Sheesh. Right, so that's all I wanted to read. Right, so we're gonna go back to Isaiah, so you can understand like how beautiful the kingdom's gonna be for Israel. Just talking about Israel. Israel's gonna be living in that part. So we're gonna go back to 17. I was reading earlier about how the kings. Let's see if I can find it. Right here. Verse 9, surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first do bring their sons from far, their silver and their gold with them. So they're bringing the silver and their gold. So why they bring the silver and gold? To build up the temple. And that's what the temple's going to look like, right? And it's not going to be silver and gold. It's going to be all their resources, right? Like I just listed, all the crystals, everything. Right, so... Okay, right here. For brass, I will bring gold, and for iron, I will bring silver, and for wood, brass, and for stones, iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Right? So that's all I want to read, so you can see that that's how the kingdom's going to look like, and who's going to build it, and how they're going to get the resources, where the resources are going to come from. All the silver, gold, pearls is all going to come from these kings after Yahushua comes and destroys his place and puts us back into power, right? And these Edomites they're gonna catch it. They're gonna get the word. So that's why, just gotta wait. Keep praying, keep working, keep studying, keep doing the work, and we just gotta wait because we're almost out of here. I hope this lesson was edifying. I'd like to close out by saying Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the Apostle of Great Millstone. and to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth, death and destruction to his wicked kingdom, and the 2/3 as well. Kwam Yasharallah, about the ball. Shalom.